Hello, my name is Ben.
And my name's Josh.
And welcome back to FPL Graduates and welcome back to another pre-season video. Today, we're going to be talking to you about some potentially viable cheap strikers that you could get in your FPL team to make a bit of room elsewhere to spend a bit more money. Let's get straight into it.
Okay, so we're going to start off at the cheapest probably options that we can offer you guys, and then we'll work our way up to, some more premium options. We're going to start at 5.5 million. We'll start with Carlton Morris from Luton Town. He was pretty good last season for Luton. He was their top goal scorer, 20 goals, 6 assists. Overperformed his XG, yes. He will be on penalties, but he's pretty reliable with starts as well. 44 starts in the Championship last season. Luton have a pretty good fixture run as well, with some greens in there to start early doors. So he could be a nice little differential if you wanted to opt for a newly promoted asset.
Yeah, if you're someone that looks entirely at fixtures when picking your FPL players, Carlton Morris is probably one of the standout picks to go for because their fixture difficulty rating isn't very high at all for the opening few weeks of the season. And like Josh alluded to, he's a fairly nailed on starter. And if you think, Luton, when they're under the lights at Kenilworth Road, could be a really tough game for a lot of teams this season. So at 5.5 million could provide some great value there. Okay, so next up, we've got Matthias Cunha from Wolves. Again, another £5.5 million option. And Wolves have actually lost quite a few of their other attacking players, which means I think Matthias Cunha could be a really important player for Wolves going forward. Obviously, they've lost the likes of Raul Jimenez. Chiquinho's gone out on loan. Adama Traore. They've lost a few there. And Cunha could become a key integral part of Wolves and, could end up becoming their starting striker. Didn't get too many starts last year, but this season I do anticipate that changing and him getting a lot more minutes.
Yeah, his minutes were a lot hampered by his injuries that he's also had last season. But this is a player who was probably hyped up by a lot of the biggest teams in Europe before he's moved from Atletico Madrid to Wolves. So he's a good quality player. I think 2 goals in 960 minutes as well is not too bad considering the team that he's playing in. Wolves are a pretty stagnant offensive team. Hopefully Lopetegui maybe changes that this season, but I think he's a good option. Not necessarily top of my shopping list, don't get me wrong, but if you need to save the money, he's there. So moving on to the £6 million bracket now, and we first off have Joanne Visa from Brentford. The 16 starts last season, obviously not too much either, but that is due to Ivan Toney, and obviously he's not going to be playing at all in the first half of the season. 7 goals and 4 assists, though, is not too bad. And decent XG numbers too. Brentford's fixtures are pretty good too, and he could be on penalties, Ben.
Yeah, Visa is more than likely, if he starts, he's going to be the starting striker for Brentford. If they're playing in a 4-3-3, it's likely that he's going to be striker and then Buemo is going to play out wide. Against the tougher teams, they do like to play a 5-3-2. And that, again, means Visa could be up top. We'll have to wait and see on the penalties. No one really knows too much yet on who's going to be that penalty taker for Brentford. They've got quite a few options that they could go for. Visa obviously is up there. The fixtures are pretty decent as well to start the season. So I anticipate Visa could be a great option to start the season. He's cheap enough as well to go for. And yeah, there's nothing sort of too much wrong about going with this guy for game week 1. Okay, so next up, we've got another £6 million option. And this is a guy that I'm really excited about for this season. It's Evan Ferguson of Brighton. And as we know, Brighton performed really well last season, and so did Ferguson when he got the opportunities. Obviously, he's young and his minutes were going to be limited last year, but this year could really be a breakout season for him. He's very prolific in his goal scoring, and with the minutes that he played and the goals and assists that he got last season, I anticipate him improving on those numbers in the upcoming FPL season.
Yeah, some ridiculous stats, really, for how many starts that he got last season. Brighton's first 3 fixtures are amongst some of the best in the league as well. It'll be interesting to see if he does start. Obviously, he's been sharing minutes with the likes of Danny Welbeck, etc., which I still think he will do. But surely sooner rather than later, Brighton will have to start Evan Ferguson as one of their main strikers if they want to keep him at the club, because I'm sure a lot of clubs will come sniffing around if he's not getting those minutes. So yeah, really nice option. But again, just wait and see to see if he's going to embed himself into that Brighton team and make himself a starter. Okay, so our first £6.5 million option in this video is going to be a one-knee from Forest, and it's a really, really good goal record as well last season. 17 starts, 10 goals, 1 assist. Obviously got hampered with his injury last season as well, but towards the back end of the season, he was bang in form for Forest, and probably between him and Gibbs White kept them up in the Premier League. Really nice option, and Forest as well got 2 very decent fixtures. So if you could keep him as maybe like a rotational piece off your bench, if you've got a bit of spare cash, I think he could be a good option, Ben.
Yeah, it definitely shows that he's somewhat of a streak player and sort of overperformed his XG when he was banging in the goals, and he got them all in a very short period of time. I anticipate if Nottingham Forest, get in a good vein of form, then it will be thanks to this guy at 6.5 million. Could be an absolute bargain if he continues and starts the season like he ended last season. Okay, so next up, we're going to go for Julian Alvarez of Manchester City. Now, again, another guy who didn't get too many starts last season, and we anticipate, due to sort of the numbers that City have lost in their squad, that Alvarez could get a lot more opportunities this season. Again, in 13 starts to get 9 goals and 3 assists is absolutely ridiculous. And with their opening set of fixtures, Alvarez could really be in the picture to be a very good FPL asset at the start of the season.
Yeah, he's banging form in pre-season as well, with a goal and an assist in their first pre-season game. He also started 9 out of the 10 games that De Bruyne missed through injury. Obviously, we do know that De Bruyne has returned to training in pre-season, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be match fit ready for game week 1. You know, game week 1's not too far away. There's Community Shield before that as well, which we'll be able to see a full City lineup. So it'll be interesting to see. I think Alvarez has got to start sooner rather than later. I don't think he's going to be happy playing second fiddle to Erling Haaland the whole time. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But I think for me personally, he's a very, very strong candidate to be in my Game Week 1 team. Okay, so that wraps up the best cheap forward options. So everyone under £6.5 million. Let us know who you think are the best strikers in that sort of price category. I think we've picked out 6 of the best, would you say, Ben?
Yeah, I'd say there are some very decent options. Obviously, if you're looking at really, really budget, you know you're not going to get potentially the minutes to go with it. But with these guys, there is the potential that they could become a key player at each of their respective clubs.
Yeah, so if you haven't already, make sure you do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on the way to 3,000 subscribers, so make sure you hit that sub button and leave a comment of who your favourite player in FPL is at the moment.
And as always, I've been Ben.
I've been Josh.
And we'll see you guys
later.